Hi, so today is a little collection video, and the theme of this one is soloists slash K-R&B, K-hip-hop, not really true K-pop music, I guess you could say. So I have a section on my shelf where it's my K-R&B, K-hip-hop CDs. Mostly they're K-R&B, and then there's a few exceptions, which we'll get to when I mention them. So we're gonna start. So I've grouped this off into small little sections within the main section. So these are the subsections. So the first one that we're gonna go through is like my miscellaneous albums. So for these ones, I have like maybe one or two of the artists. First up, we have Jung Jinu's In My Room, which is a mini album, and then we have his full album, Rotate. Shawa 360, Sam, she was talking about him on her channel, and her K-R&B, K-hip-hop knowledge and realm is way bigger than mine. So any artist that I don't know, I check out. If I like it, I like it. And I liked his music, so I decided to buy both of his physicals. Really great. And I enjoyed them equally. Next up, we have my only Chic K album, and this is his recent one from last year. It's called Headliner. This is the deluxe. So earlier in 2020, he released the Headliner album, and then he came back with the repack, and I think he gave us 6 songs, if I'm not mistaken. Six. I think it was 6 new songs. 6 or 5 new songs. I don't remember exactly. But he gave us the repackage, and the repackage, or the deluxe, is the one that comes with the physical. This is a good album. It's heavy on the auto-tune, so if you're not a big fan of auto-tune, you might not like it. But the hooks were catchy and the beats were bouncy, and I liked that aspect. And I do like some Chic K music. I sometimes have to be in a mood to listen to it, especially this album, because it is very much more heavily auto-tuned than some of his previous works. If I could go back, I would definitely want to buy his other full-length albums. I'm blanking on the name of it. Have a Little Fun, I think is what it's called. But also the Boy Cold album. I think that's my favorite Chic K album. But those are out of print, and I was late to the game, so I don't think I'll be able to get those. Well, he's a rapper. Next up, we have the only female K-R&B singer in this pile of CDs. It's Hoodie's Departure. Like Hoodie, her voice is very smooth and pleasing to the ears. This was her album from 2019. Really great, really fantastic. Love it. I don't own her first one. Maybe someday. I'm not too sure. But I did like this one, so we had to snatch it up. And then he's the one I have the most CDs of. It is Crush. Don't have them all, but I have a few. So we have his debut album, Crush on You. So this is the first full-length album. It went out of print, and then it got put back in print. So when it came back into print, I bought it because it is kind of like a staple in K-R&B music. So really great, really fantastic. And then we have his mini album, Wonder Lost. I liked this when it came out. Serial was so fun, and he features a lot of my favorite K rappers on this album, like Penameko, Zico, and there's also Hoodie on here, and Punchinello, Chic K. Really great. This album does not have a single solo song of his, so it's kind of like a Crush and Friends type of album. And then we have his second full-length album, which is From Midnight to Sunrise. This was released when he was announced that he was joining Psy's music label. This was his first project off of there. I was very excited, and I asked for it for Christmas, and I got it. Really great album, great features. DPR Live is on this B. Dean, he brought the homework. He brought the side piece out, and he ended the album with a Zion T feature, because Zion T and Crush T, y'all know. And then we have his latest, which is the With Her album. So this is another Crush and Friends type of ordeal, except this time all the features are female. And if you're not really into kr&b and k-hip-hop, you might not have recognized some of the features on the Wonder Lost album. But if you're into if you're like a K-pop fan, but if you're a K-pop fan, you'll recognize some of the features on here. Taeyeon is on here, Lehi is on here, if you know, Yoonmi Ray, OST, and hip-hop legend, she on here as well. And then there's also Isora, beautiful, and then BB, which is a very raunchy Korean musician. Really great. I did not buy this when it came out. I waited a little bit, but eventually I bought it. Then we have PH1. So I have his Halo album, Home Alone Lights Out. This album was recommended to me by Jade, and she did not disappoint with the recommendation. This album is so good, but the packaging on this album is a Ziploc bag, which is so trash. And if you see these like dots, that's where the CD was held, and it's like a giant poster, and then there's a photo book, and the poster is where the CD is held on, and it's like poster paper material, so it's like, what were they thinking? But the production on here and the features and the songs, fantastic. Lights Out, one of my favorite songs of last year. Also Malibu, another one of my favorite songs from last year. And Like Me, my favorite song on this album, another one of my favorite songs from 2019. I'm sorry. You know, 2020 ended and it was like, bitch, did you really end? Or are you just continuing on into 2021? So the years get mixed up. This was 2019. I apologize. This was 2020. PH1's X, the Worst mixtape, featuring some of the best peers. It's a mixtape. It's a mixtape, but I say it's a full-length album because it has like 10 songs on here. So I think that's full-length album to me, and he has great producers as well. A lot of Moiko, who is on the Halo album, and then there's also great productions from Groovy Room and Gray and Woogie. Gorgeous, fantastic, love it. PH1 is my favorite K hip-hop artist, rapper. He's the favorite rapper, I would say. He's the favorite rapper. And then we have the DPR regime section, which is very small. Consists of 2 copies of DPR Lives. Is anybody out there? So we were, in my group chat, we were all trying to secure a copy because DPR albums are hard to come by. And once they go out of print, they're pretty much gone. And so we all love DPR Live. So we were all trying to get it. The album came out for pre-order and I was dead ass asleep because West Coast time zones, what's good? And so one of my friends in the group chat bought 2 copies, one for me, and then that was really exciting. But then K-Pop Town, where she bought it from, was kind of like, we might have to issue some refunds because we don't know if we'll have enough. So I was worried when she sent me that message. So I found another copy on eBay and I bought it as well. And I have not opened this one. I've opened one copy to get the CD out. I have not opened this other copy. Maybe one day I will sell it and somebody desperate enough will buy it. But for now, completely sealed. And then we have DPR Ian's. If you are an old K-pop fan and you know C-Clown, he is Rome from C-Clown. Now he is just Christian Ian. Fine ass man, buff with the muscles, hot with the tattoos. Ooh! So he released a little mini album. It's called Mood Swings in That Order. Something like that. This is a heat sensitive cover, so as you can see, you're like, ew, you have smudges on your fingerprints, that's why it's coming on the album. No. This is heat sensitive, baby, so the more I touch, the more you can see the cover. So that's cool. There's really nothing to it, just a cracked mirror. Hey, double chin. It's a good album. In terms of DPR, though, I still love me some DPR Live. Really wish we could get those first 2 mini albums back into restock. But I think that is just, if you missed it, you missed it. And if you rich, you could spend the coin. I will not spend the coin because I'm not buying a DPR live album for over $100. They could miss me with that bullshit. Okay. Next up is my section of my favorites. So it turns out that my favorites so far are only one album from each artist, but hopefully in the future that can change. And we're going to start off with this one, and it is none other than Dawn's Panorama. This is his first physical album. This was before he was signed to Zico's label, Chaos Entertainment, I think is what it's called. Chaos, sure. So this was back before that in 2018, and smooth ass vocals. I found him on a random YouTube playlist from one of those like indie music channels, and they had his whole like SoundCloud discography in like a big video. So I just listened to it one day and I was blown away by the vocals and I loved the instrumentation. So I followed him on the socials, and then he announced that he was going to release a physical album, and I was like, yes, I'm so excited. Phobia, Fairy, amazing songs. The other songs on here are great as well. See the Sea though is a instrumental, and then the first song is like an intro, so you only get really 3 full songs, but that's neither here nor there. And then he ghosted us and he disappeared for a little bit, and then it finally was announced that Zico's label was signing Dawn, and I was like, this is fantastic. I think with being on Zico's label, he'll finally get more music to be released, and I was right. So far, he's released a lot of digital singles, which is fantastic. If you listened to some of his older SoundCloud stuff, you'll recognize some of those songs, especially his first one, Majimak. That was one of his SoundCloud songs, baby, and I was on game for that years before he released that as a real official single. And then Burn the Memory featuring, what's his name? Yeah, I think it's Giddy Boy. Fantastic. Anyways, love it. And he just recently this year released his second mini album, It's Not Your Fault. I pre-ordered that. I made the mistake of thinking that I was just going to try out Choice Music once again, and then Choice Music a few days ago sent an email saying our full shipment didn't come in, and the rest of our shipment is expected to be coming in the second week of May. These bitches waited so damn long to tell us this news, and then the album is basically sold out everywhere except for K-Town For You, and I'm not paying $30 for one CD from K-Town For You, even though I would get it in a few days. So I was like, shoot, I'll wait for Choice Music, but I'm not buying from Choice Music ever again because they are, I thought I could give them a second chance, and you know what? Shame on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. So I'm done buying from Choice Music from now on, especially because they move slow as shit, and then they don't get all their shipments in at one time, and then they have half the shipment of the Dawn album, but they won't send that out because they have to make sure they have all the number of copies they need to sell it to all the people that pre-ordered the album. So we all have to wait because they can't start shipping out that first batch of albums that they already got. So we're all stuck waiting, and I'm stuck waiting, and I feel like every time I buy from Choice Music, I'm always stuck waiting. So I don't know why I decided to go back to Choice Music. I was stupid. Sub K Shop all the way if you're buying from L of the A, Los Angeles, California. Okay? Choice Music is done. I'm so over Choice Music. And you know what? If someone is like a big fan of Choice Music, I'm sorry, but you know what? I've given them chances. They were my go-to store for years because they was quick with it. COVID happened, and they acted like they didn't know how to run a fucking store online anymore. They were like, ooh, COVID happened, now we don't know what to do. And I was like, okay, bitch, well, every other store in the freaking area has their shit together, so why are you guys still not getting your shit together after you've had almost a whole year of COVID lockdown and the store not being really open in person for you to get your shit together? So they're not getting their shit together, so I don't have time for Choice Music anymore. So I don't know why I decided to buy it from them. I should have bought it from Sub K Shop when I saw it originally, but then I was like, you know, I'm just gonna give it a chance. Shame on me. That was a mistake. And we're moving on because Choice Music. Next, we have one of my favorite albums of all time. K-pop, American, whatever. You see the purple. You know who it is. It is Dean, 130 Mood Trouble. Bitch, you can give us features, but you cannot be bothered to release a second physical album. What is going on with you? If I was IU and we were doing that damn song together, I would have smacked you in the face and said, where is your second album, man? It feels like it's been forever. He is just AWOL, MIA, majority of the time. Then he pops up for a feature here and there, and then he disappears again. And I'm like, what are you doing? The vocals, the talent, you are letting it go to waste. It's very disappointing. But this album, I feel like if you're a kr&b fan, this is a staple. It's a must-have. It's a must-have. Amazing. You get Zico on here, you get Crush on here, you get Jeff Bernay. I don't know how you say your last name like that, but amazing songs. Amazing songs. Bonnie and Clyde. Oh my gosh. D, Half Moon. Oh. Pour It Up. Period. Oh, and the song with Crush and Jeff Bernay, What to Do. Fantastic. It's a fantastic album. Get into it. Get into it. Oh my gosh. If this man never releases a second physical album, if I ever see him in Korea just walking along the streets, it's on sight. Next up, we have two more singers. And the first one is Zion T. This is his album ZZZ. I'm not a huge fan of Zion T. I knew about this album because I was watching that end of the year favorite songs from Jerry KML back when I used to still like his channel. And he was talking about Mala Gang, and he was also talking about Idol. And I was like, ooh, these songs is slapping. So I listened to the rest of the album and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Before this, I liked songs here or there. I wasn't a huge full album fan from Zion T, but this album's really great. He has Solgi on here, and then the last song, Snow, featuring Imunse. Oh, so beautiful. And Mala Gang. Mala Gang, the lyrics. Look them up, listen to the song, get your life, get a kiki in. Them lyrics. Very relatable, though. And next up, we have Ju-young with his album Fountain. Ju-young's vocals remind me of Dawn's in that they're very smooth and velvety, silky smooth. And I love that. He's another artist that he said some things in the past that have pissed me off. They're not like problematic. They're just like, come on, man. So he was kind of upset that people were not really taking him seriously as a musician, but more so that he was cute when he was in that Hyorin, and Iron is in there as well. Fuck that bitch. I don't care. Rest in pieces, that's fine. But you as a trash bag person, okay? But he was like, I don't want to be looked at as an idol. Okay, well, it's not your fault that you were born with great genes and everyone thought that you were cute, but your voice was also popping, and Erase is still that freaking girl. But this album is fantastic. Listen to it. Wine featuring G-Soul, Planet Girl featuring PH1 Dive. Oh my gosh, this album is fantastic. But the photos in here, there's random white people. Like, who are these freckles? Who is this? And then there's pictures of Ju-young himself, and you didn't want to be known for being cute as an idol. Well, you definitely succeeded, because in this photo book, you look like a druggie that I could find somewhere on the streets of San Francisco. Okay? You don't have to, girl. I still listen to it because the vocals is on point, but you don't have to fuck up your whole entire image just so you could be taken seriously as a musician. Please. Baekhyun looks good with its T at the end, and I still take him seriously because his vocals speak for itself. The fact that he is very cute is an added bonus, Dean and Ju-young. Okay? Sheep. Next up, we have this one from this year. It is Big Naughty with his first ever album, Bucket List. And this, oh my goodness. So I really did not have the time nor the patience to listen to the whole entire Higher One Music mixtape. I was like, I ain't got the time, and I did not care for the red tape. It was a little too in your face, and I'm not into that type of hip-hop, especially in the K hip-hops. I have a specific style of hip-hop that I listen to, It's very much female based. It's very much ratchet based. It's very much old school vibes. And I just don't really care for what the rapping was on the red tape. But the blue tape was more on the R&B side. And I enjoyed that. And he has a solo song on it. And he also has a few other songs on it. Oscar was another one he was on, and I was like, who is this? Who is this? I'd never heard of him before. I looked him up and I was like, damn, he kind of young, but the album, his style was speaking to me. So he released that album, and baby, it is so good. So it doesn't say on the back, but there is features galore on this bad boy. Bucket List, such a fantastic song. Bravo featuring Coogie, I don't know how you pronounce that name, sorry, and G-Soul, produced by Gray, fantastic. 10 Years featuring Palo Alto, my favorite song of the album. It's so good. I don't remember what the name of this song is, but I really like it. It's very fun. Well, sounds fun. Coffee Shop Girl, another really great song. Oh, it's featuring that Weinstein guy. He's really popular right now. Frank Ocean featuring Soleil. I don't know how you pronounce that either. Really freaking great song. And then, of course, we have Joker featuring our girl, Jamie. Jamie, girl, release the songs when you're singing. That little verse you gave us for Sweetie's Best Friend remix, let's just say it wasn't the best. But the cool thing about this, I bought this off of K-Town for You. I also bought this with the Crush album, so I was like, okay. It balances the cost out slightly. He posted on his Instagram that the pre-orders for this album were going to be signed, and he then posted a 2-picture poll of which signature would you guys like more, and everybody and their damn mother chose the real extra signature. So he spent all that time signing these albums, you know, or his camp did, I don't know, I don't care, but it's signed by Big Naughty, and it's the extra ass signature, and it's fantastic. I am here for you, Big Naughty, and I will be checking out what you do in the future. And then, this is my favorite. Dawn is my favorite singer. My favorite album, though, it goes to Sam Kim's Sun and Moon. This is a beautiful album. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, sweet mams. This album is so fantastic. If you don't listen to any other album that I've just showed you, please listen to this one because it's so good. Oh my gosh. Sun and Moon, what a beautiful opening song. It's a full song. It's not an intro. I don't know. But it is gorgeous. It's You featuring Zico. Fantastic. So I heard about this album from that Jerry KML video when they were talking about those Zion T songs because they were released in the same year. Makeup featuring Crush. Fantastic. There's a few English songs on here as well. It's just a fantastic album. And you get a little photo book. I just was blown away when I first heard this. I was like, wow. So, Sam Kim, I don't know what you're doing. You know, you release a few singles here and there. Give us another album, boo. Give me something I could buy. Something I could hold in my hands. Because this album kind of changed my life. Next up, we move on to the ladies. And these aren't really like kr&b singers, but you know, they're in my soloist section, and Goo Don disbanded. So we have Sejong's first mini album, Hwabun Plant. She has been my favorite from IOI since I watched since I watched Produce 101 Season 1. It's been Sejong for me all day, every day. With a side of Pinky, but not anymore. It's not for any bad reasons. I don't keep up with her, but I do keep up with the girl Sejong. And this album is a good mix of ballads, which are beautiful, showcase the vocals, but then there's also 2 upbeat songs, Skyline and Yoribal, and they'll also feature some great Sejong vocals, but being a little more up-tempo. Fantastic album. Very love, very love. And then vocals galore, continuing on with Yunha. So this is her mini album, Unstable Mindset. And People were buzzing on Twitter because Winter Flower, excuse me, features RM from BTS. Y'all know. You might know who he is. So everyone was buzzing. And so I checked out the song, and it's very epic, and it's very grand, and it's very good. And then I was like, okay, let me listen to the rest of this album. So I did. And the title song with the music video is Dark Clouds, song number 2. And that song became my favorite vocal song of last year. She went up, she held out long notes, she gave us every single vocal trick that she could give us, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I feel like barely anybody listened to that damn song. It is a ballad, but it is a really great display of vocals. The rest of the album is really fantastic as well. Highly recommend y'all check this out. She's been in the game for a while, and she sings some OSTs for dramas you might know. And then we have Lehi. I guess you could say she's K-pop, but you know, she is a soloist, and I am a big fan of Lehi. Yes, I am. So we have all 3 of her physicals. First Love, which I bought the year it came out. That's why it is kind of tainted on the corners, and you know, it's seen better days, but you know, I don't mishandle. It's just wear and tear. It tells that this has been well loved because the music on here is fantastic, flawless. You get Jennie from Blackpink on here, but before that, she was just some girl named Jennie Kim of YG's new artist. Rose, fantastic. Turn It Up. Moment for the robbery that was Turn It Up, which is the intro on this album. It's one of the best songs on this album, and it's not even like 2 minutes long. Turn It Up deserved to be a full-length song. That, the instrumentation, the vocals, the melody, fantastic. Turn It Up. Turn It Up might be one of my, isn't my favorite of all time though. I don't know. But Turn It Up is one of my favorite intros off of any album. She went in and set the tone. Okay? And other good songs. I really love Special. That's the one featuring Jennie Kim. It says there's only 10 songs on here, but there's actually 11 because there's a hidden track. It's called Scarecrow. Very fantastic. It's very typical Korean ballad, but it's beautiful vocals, beautiful vocals. Dream is another really pretty song in here. Dream gives me Adele vibes. Kind of with that like piano ballad instrumentation. So that was her. She was a teenager. She was growing. Now she's an adult. YG locked her up in the basement for too many years. They gave her a little bone with the High Soo-hyun subunit featuring Bobby. Finally, she broke free from the dungeon just to give us Soul Light, the long-awaited, highly anticipated second full-length album. And baby, she said, I'm a grown-up, so let me give you this song called Fuck With Us, featuring Doki, and bitch, she delivered. But if you don't know, most of the songs in here, I'm sure everybody and their mother knows Breathe. Breathe is a very special song. It's very heartbreaking. Beautiful song. And this album, she got the rappers on this beach. So, Minnow, he's on here. Doki's on here. Somebody named Incredible. I don't know who that is, but he's on here as well. Tableau's on here. Bobby's on here twice because the I'm Different, the High Soo-hyun song is like the bonus track. This album is so good. It kind of is like a good mix of we're transitioning from this sound to a more mature sound because like songs like My Star and Hold My Hand kind of give me this album, and then everything else she's like, here's the new mature adult Lehi. Fantastic. And album artwork, oh my gosh, the album artwork on here is just, it's gorgeous. That Korean skyline situation, she did that. And then this is her last album on YG before she chucked the deuces and the middle fingers, and they gave us 24 Degrees Celsius. And not the best album, but it's not the worst. I enjoy it quite a bit. G-Soul's on here. B.I. My boy, B.I. Love him. He's on here as well. And Hyun Suk Treasure, he's on here as well. So she got some male features as well, you know, but very fun. This is the last thing, YG. You really lost a good one. And she's now signed with AOMG, I believe. Bitches, don't take too damn long because our asses are waiting for the next thing to buy to hold in our hands, okay? She has proven herself to be able to top them charts. So if you want that lehi moolah, start giving her more music, damn it. Shit. Next up, we have the sister-brother duo of all time that still somehow want to remain trapped under YG's fist. It's Akmo. I didn't know anything about them except that they won one of those K-pop shows. And then they released this album, 1 year, the Play album. And this sounds dramatic, but it is completely 100% factual. This album changed my life. It changed my view on music. It introduced me to newer genres that I didn't really care for, like kind of folky, and like I was like, whoa. And it was such a breath of fresh air coming from a YG artist, because he's very much Western hip-hop based, and this was very much spring, and like it just was like mint. It was fresh in your mouth. And it was fresh in your ears. 200%. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. I love it. Baby. Other favorite songs in here. On the Subway. That song is so beautiful, especially when it gets to the bridge. There's like a little brief instrumental part. You hear like the subway sound effect of it like running along the train tracks. And then there's a harmonica solo, and it's just gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Full amazing. This is a amazing album. I am missing their third full-length album. We will be buying it sometime, hopefully this year. But we have their puberty series. This is the spring and this is the winter. This is their second full-length album, quote unquote. I believe it's only like 8 songs or 8 songs, but it's a full-length album. What the fuck? I hate it when people market their full-length albums as 8 songs. 8 songs is not a full-length album. So 8 songs does not make a full-length album. But regardless, Akdong Musician is just such a breath of fresh air. They're such a gift to the music world. And more people need to really get into them because they are incredible. They're so talented. Soohyun's vocals are amazing. And Chanhyuk's production and writing is just second to none. So, Akdong Musician. And lastly, this video is long, baby. I'm sorry. We have my Hope You Pull Out, my new obsession, and Highheeled Song's second mini album, The Edge. But Hope You Pull Out, OMG. I never knew that I needed a violin in a K band setting until I heard Lucy. Flowering changed everything for me. And then it was earlier this year that I discovered, it just popped up into my recommendations one day because I was watching one of those reaction videos and it was by that guy with the tattoos on his hands and stuff. It was in there. It was in the recommends. Hope You Pull Out's Radiohead Creep cover. And I was like, what is that? So I clicked on it and I listened to it while he was reacting to it, which is not the best way to listen to a song for the first time because he was like kind of talking and breaking it up to talk about stuff. So, you know, but I was impressed with the vocals. I was like, wow. His note was long and it was fantastic. And then in the recommends of that video was Enough. Google me on there. So I listened to it. And right off the bat, cello and piano. They're a band. They were formed from the Super Band show. I didn't know anything about it except that Lucy was from that. But these guys, I think, were the winners, I believe. But cello and piano. And then the lyrics came on with the subtitles. And I was like, oh, these freaking lyrics and the vocals. I had another in awe let me catch my breath. Let me process what I just listened to moment after that song was over, because it transcended me. It opened my eyes, and it really did solidify my newfound love for classical string instruments in band settings like this. Like, I am now a fan. You want to give me some strings, baby? Give me some strings. And the two vocalists are so fantastic. Ha-hyun song, and then the other one is named, he goes by the name of Isle, like I''LL. Oh my gosh, their vocals are so amazing. So I discovered that earlier this year, and then I looked them up on the social medias, and it said second mini album coming out soon. It was literally coming out a week later. And I was like, wow, this is fate. I found a new group that I really am interested in, and they're giving me new music a week later. So I pre-ordered this album. K-Town For You had this bitch out of stock. But I also listened to his album, Ha-hyun Song, because I loved his vocals from the Creep cover to the Spring to Spring album. His vocals were incredible. So I bought this with it. It's fantastic. I love his voice. It's so good. And so I pre-ordered this one, and they came. And when it was released, I was a fan. I was like, yeah, okay. I am completely 100% sold on this group. Hopipola. It means something like to jump in puddles. It's that's the translation of what it means. I think it's like Icelandic or something like that. I don't remember. I looked it up a long time ago. But Noepada, your ocean. Beautiful track. Unnatural, mom. Oh my gosh. Gorgeous. This album, Nostalgia featuring Rohan. Really amazing. Not okay. Close. With you. Wow, with you. But this album is still my favorite from the two mini albums from Hopipola. I just think that Gugomyeon Doel is such a beautiful song. I wish I had found it sooner, because it's gorgeous. The second song, About Time. About Time, vocals, instrumentation. About Time is so stunning. It's breathtaking. It's everything. There's an instrumental song on here as well. It's called Marchin. Donghwa. Oh! I didn't know I could listen to 5 minutes of cello and acoustic guitar and be so mesmerized and not get bored for a single second. But I was, and it was amazing. And I love it. And I'm here. I want more. I want a full-length album. I want everything. I want whatever these people decide to give us, because this is talent. This is a musical gift. It's a blessing. And it's one of the best things that I've ever discovered in my life. And that is the end of this video. I want to talk really briefly on the fact that I did buy Lucy's Inside single album. I waited too fucking long to buy Jogging, and I'm very upset. It's called Panorama. That thing is very hard to find now, and I'm like pissed, because I should have bought that bitch sooner. But win some, you lose some, baby. But speaking of Lucy, with their album Inside, Hero is a fantastic song. Lucy is another like K-rock band, alternative, and one of the instruments is the violin, and boy, he goes off on the violin. But that album, Hero, is the title song. It's fantastic. When I talk about my favorite B-sides from January to June, you will get more in depth of how much I freaking love this song. But the B-side on that album is called Stove. It is over 6 minute song, and it's incredible. It is so good. That song is fantastic. Like, they could have made the song 10 minutes long, and I would have been captivated for the entire length. It's over 6 minutes. It's fantastic. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to get that hoe in the mail. Anyways, this video's gone on long enough. I had a few rants, I had a few story times. When it comes to good music needs to be discussed. It needs to be gushed over. So people get the point that, oh, this person really has a special connection to this album or this group or this song. Because K-pop changed my life. But diving deeper into the non-K-pop realms of like the K-R&B and more of the K-indie bands, that also really affected and changed my life for the better. So I'm sorry this video was so long, but it is what it is. I had a lot to say. And with that, I will see you on the next video. Okay, bye.